The YouTube stunt that turned deadly. He held the camera. She held the gun. They thought it would go viral, but instead, it went fatal. This is the tragic true story of Pedro Ruiz III and Monalisa Perez, a couple chasing internet fame who made one deadly mistake that would end in a courtroom and a grave. Pedro Ruiz was just 22 years old when he became obsessed with becoming a YouTube star. Living in Hallstatt, Minnesota, a quiet, rural town of barely 600 people, Pedro wanted more than the farmland, the silence, and the small-town life. He wanted millions of views. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to go viral. His girlfriend, 19-year-old Monalisa Perez, was supportive. She had her own YouTube channel, posting lifestyle videos, pranks, and challenges. Together, they had a growing subscriber base, and they called their couple's content La Monalisa. They filmed everything: shopping, cooking, family time with their 3-year-old daughter. But none of it was going viral. The numbers weren't moving fast enough. The fame Pedro craved wasn't coming quickly enough. So, he came up with an idea. Something outrageous. Something that would get attention. A stunt so bold that nobody would dare ignore it. He told Monalisa he wanted her to shoot him, point blank, with a .50 caliber Desert Eagle pistol. He would hold up a thick hardcover encyclopedia, and the book, he claimed, would stop the bullet. Had seen people do it online. There were videos of people testing books with bullets. Pedro even tried it himself, on a different book, with a different gun, in a different setting. But none of it proved that the stunt would actually be safe. Monalisa didn't want to do it. Text messages later revealed she was scared. What if I miss? What if the book isn't enough? She asked him. Pedro reassured her, over and over. ITLL work. It's just a book, babe. Trust me. We'll be famous. On June 26, 2017, the cameras were set up in their front yard. The golden Desert Eagle pistol was loaded and ready. Their 3-year-old daughter stood nearby, just feet away. Pedro held up the book to his chest. Monalisa stood just 1 foot from him, gun in hand. She hesitated. He nodded. She pulled the trigger. The bullet ripped through the encyclopedia and into Pedro's chest. He dropped to the ground immediately. Monalisa screamed. She ran to him, sobbing, panicked, horrified at what had just happened. She called 911, her voice trembling. We were doing a YouTube video and it went wrong. He's not breathing. He's bleeding. Please help. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it was too late. Pedro Ruiz was pronounced dead at the scene. The bullet had pierced his heart. The book had done nothing to protect him. Monalisa, 6 months pregnant with her second child, was arrested that night and charged with second-degree manslaughter. The investigation uncovered even more disturbing facts. Pedro had borrowed the pistol from his aunt, telling her it was for a stunt. She had warned him not to use it. She thought he was joking. He wasn't. Texts between Pedro and Monalisa revealed a pattern. He had been pressuring her to go through with the stunt for weeks. She had repeatedly said no. He kept insisting. And just hours before the shooting, Pedro tweeted, "Me and Monalisa are probably going to shoot one of the most dangerous videos ever. Her idea, not mine." That tweet would become a key piece of evidence in court, one that prosecutors argued was an intentional attempt to shift blame even before the shot was fired. The case shocked the nation. The story made headlines across the U.S. and around the world. It became the center of a national conversation about social media, stunt culture, and the dangerous lengths people go to for online attention. In court, Monalisa appeared remorseful, quiet, and broken. Her defense attorneys argued that she was manipulated, emotionally pressured, and scared. That she never believed the stunt would actually harm Pedro. That she was a teenage mother trying to please a boyfriend who was obsessed with going viral. That she pulled the trigger, yes, but never thought it would actually kill him. Pedro's family was divided. His aunt, who lent him the gun, said he had talked about the stunt before and that Monalisa had begged him not to do it. Others were less forgiving. His mother, Lisa Ruiz, said in interviews that she believed Monalisa should be held fully responsible. Ultimately, Monalisa Perez pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter. In March 2018, she was sentenced to 180 days in jail and 10 years of supervised probation. Her jail time was split up. She would serve it in 10-day intervals over several years, so she could still raise her children. The judge also ordered that she could never own or use firearms again and was banned from profiting off the incident in any way. No books, no interviews for money, no documentaries. Nothing. At the sentencing hearing, Monalisa gave a tearful statement. "I loved Pedro. He was my partner, the father of my children. I didn't want to hurt him. I trusted him, and I wish I hadn't." She paused, choking back tears. "I lost him, and I'll live with that forever." The couple's YouTube channel was taken down shortly after the sentencing. But the footage, though never publicly released, was reviewed by investigators. According to prosecutors, the video clearly showed Pedro encouraging the stunt, telling Monalisa, "It's fine. Just shoot. I got this." He didn't. Their daughter, who was present during the shooting, was placed into family care. She is now being raised with her younger brother, born after Pedro's death. In the wake of the tragedy, YouTube quietly updated its policies regarding dangerous stunts and challenges. Videos that even hinted at harm were demonetized or deleted. Other content creators began warning their followers about the risks of clout chasing. It was no longer just about pranks. It was life and death. Pedro was buried in a small cemetery just outside Hallstatt. His grave is marked with a simple stone. Friends described him as charismatic, funny, and determined. He wanted more out of life, and tragically, he gave his life trying to get it. To this day, Pedro's story is remembered as one of the most tragic examples of the extreme, and sometimes fatal, pursuit of online fame. A young father, full of dreams, lost to one impulsive decision and a single bullet. It wasn't a prank. It wasn't entertainment. It was a tragedy. No amount of views is worth a life. If this story left you speechless, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to True Crime Uncovered. We uncover the stories behind the headlines, because every case deserves to be told.